minimum amount for swing trading. Well, I will say $1,000. It might be a good idea to open a brokerage account, and if you can afford to have $1,000 in it, that would be great. But I will say it is not necessary though, just from personal experience. When I opened my brokerage account with TD Ameritrade and later with Charles Schwab, I didn't have $1,000 to put in it. I think I started with $100, and I was more investing, or maybe short-term investing. I purchased some stocks, let's just say useless stock, to put in the account at TD Ameritrade, and I have another account with them that maybe have like $50 in it, and that's it. And I just purchased a low dollar amount of stocks and have it in that account. It was back in 2000, maybe 2008 or so, and I was actually reading about investing. So, but that I started small, investing, trading. When I say trading, I'm not talking about day trading. Trading, that means I will purchase those stocks, and after a while I will sell them for a small profit. But when it comes to Charles Schwab, when I wanted to open an account there for my husband, I called them, and I believe they say $1,000 to open the account, to have the account, to open the account, but they do not enforce it. And again, it was maybe back in 2010 or so, and we opened the account, and I think we put about $100 there as well when we usually open it, and transfer money in it to link the account to our bank account. We did something like that, and we just start small. So what I would suggest, if you have a job, is good to open a Roth IRA. If you are qualified for a Roth IRA, to open the reason why I say if you are qualified for a Roth IRA, it will be income wise, how much you are earning at your job. If you are not earning a lot to be disqualified from investing in Roth IRA, I would suggest you open a Roth IRA with a brokerage account, a reputable brokerage account. We use Charles Schwab. I opened with TD Ameritrade and Charles Schwab, and recently Charles Schwab bought TD Ameritrade. So I would suggest you find a reputable brokerage firm to open your account with. Not because the firm is giving free stock or some cash free that you'll go with it, because stock investment is not insured by the government. Therefore, there is a risk involved with it. You could lose your money. So make sure you choose, because you are preparing for your future, make sure you choose a good brokerage firm to open your account with. I went with Charles Schwab because I know they have been around for decades. So even back then, they were charging fee. Like with TD Ameritrade, they were charging like $7. At some point, I think it was like $7 per trade to buy, and then to sell, it came to $4 and so forth, and the fee went down. And now at some point it became free to buy. Now you pay few cents to sell, especially now that we are swing trading. But I think when you buy, investing wise, it takes a while before you sell it. You may not pay any fee to sell it, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, at least for some stocks. But I know they say that when you sell stocks, you pay a few cents fee on those. It could be the number of shares you are selling as well. We don't buy a large number of shares, so the fee is just few cents. But yeah, and you open a Roth IRA, and you open a taxable brokerage account as well. So when you start, you can start in your Roth IRA. Roth IRA has a limit on how much you can put of your after-tax money in it, and it varies every year. But again, that's something you need to figure out as well, based on your age and how much it is for the year that you are starting. But it could easily be over $5,000 or in that range. So, and then you start. There are some year we didn't even put $1,000 in our Roth IRA. This year we didn't put $1,000 in our Roth IRA. I think I put maybe $100 there or so, but that's it. So you open the brokerage account. If you have $100, you put it in it. I would say though, to start swing trading, it'll be good at least to have about $300 there. And the reason why I say $300 is because it will allow you to buy one stock, few share of that one stock, maybe 1, 2, 3 or so of one stock, few share of one stocks, and you set a small minimum profit target. When you reach that target, you sell it and you repeat it again. You can, if you are spending $300 per trade, you could set $5 profit minimum. When the stock goes up, you reach $5, you sell it, and you will pay some fee on that $5, depending on it depends on the brokerage you are using. If they are not charging you a high fee for per trade, is few cents, as long as your profit is higher than the fee they are charging you, you have a small profit. It's not so much about the profit, it's to be able to keep repeating, practicing the strategy you are using. And I would suggest you do that rather than paper trading. I never paper traded before, therefore I cannot really discuss an experience that I have with you. I just start small with $100. When I introduce, in fact, when I open my brokerage account and Roth IRA, I didn't have much to put in it because I was working. I live in Missouri, working on my second master's degree, and I will do hair like cornrow, kinky, human hair. So African American will, if you are watching, if any African American is watching this video, they could know what I'm talking about. Even some Caucasian will come during the holidays to get their hair braided, but it's not common. But a lot of time African American like to get their hair braided. That way they are not going to have to worry about their hair in the morning before work, or they'll get their children hair braided. That way they won't have to worry about, styling their hair before school every morning. And that's what I did, and I get paid a commission through from that, and make maybe around $20,000 a year as a contractor doing hair in braiding salons. And I was working on my master's degree and paying tuition as well, so I will save some money so that I can pay for tuition. So and then I was living by myself, paying rent, $400 or so a month for the apartment that I was renting. So I live with my brother, and then later I went and looked for a place because the apartment we were renting, they said that we couldn't live together. Our income was high for us to live together, but my income was too low for me to rent there. So I went and rent elsewhere, about $400 for a 1-bedroom apartment. So I have that to pay as well, and I have saving for education wise. So I love it. Braiding hair is art, and I like just when the work is done and our client like the job is good enough for me. Just the way they like the final product is a reward for me. Tipping was never necessary. It's just that satisfaction of the client is very rewarding, and if they tip, that's great. But frankly, I'm just happy that to see the transformation, how the style look pretty on them or make them look pretty, so, or handsome, because gentlemen comes to get their hair done as well, doing some twists as well. But yeah, but I knew that because I went to business school, have a master's degree before I came in the US, I know that I will go back to school to have a degree here so that I can actually work in the field that I went to school for. So, but at that time, I was interested in stocks way before that. So when I came in the US, I was reading a lot about stocks because I was fascinated by it and I wanted to know more. I would watch CNBC, Jim Cramer doing his BOA things, and I bought his book. I would read it. I have Susan Oman's book, and I would watch her show about finances to learn about finances, personal finances, and then to learn about stocks. And I'll read checkbook out from the library and read about stocks, investing, and all that. So I was immersing myself in that knowledge quite a bit when I didn't have enough to invest or to trade. And back then I was not even thinking about trading. I was more into investing. And then at some point I opened the account. I will even share with my coworkers, brothers, when they were thinking about sending money to Africa to buy land and build houses, and they will complain that people are spending their money. I'll tell them they need to to let their husband know so that they can open them brokerage account and they can invest in the stock. But I think they didn't really know what I was talking about. I think they think that I lost some screws talking about stocks in a braiding salon. But anyway, so but I was so much into that topic, learning, and then I opened the account and put just a little bit there, buy some stocks, and and then over the years until I got married and I introduced my husband to it, he didn't want to also invest in the stock market. He would say that that's spending money, and I would say no, that's saving. That's investing. He would say no, there is a risk of losing the money, therefore you spend the money. And I said no, and then I just went and opened a Roth IRA for him, put $50 in it, and I told him he needs to fund a stock to invest that in it. So it was a challenge to get him to that. At this point, I don't even have time to try to convince him of anything. After a while, I'll just say, you know what, I'm going to do it. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. I will start, and you can be on the sideline and join me when you think it is working. I just don't have time to try to convince him of anything these days, so I'm busy. But we do not have those type of struggle much either, because he's trying to understand things anyway. But yeah, so but yeah, I try to convince him that we need to invest in the stock market. We need to invest in the stock market. So, and at some point he got into it as well, and he became more of a trader when I noticed that I was more of an investor, because when we buy the stock, I will hold on to mine, but he will sell his after a while to lock in that profit. So we started small, and around that time we have quite a bit of debt as well, and we're trying to invest in the stock market. And I'll ask him if we can live on one income, because we are two income earners. I'll ask him if we can live on one income, and he'll say no, with all our debts and expenses and investment we cannot. I like to do everything at the same time, and he likes to focus on one thing. He said we cannot live on one income. So, and then I asked, after a while I asked him, okay, so how much we pay in that total a month, how much our expenses, our living expenses. And we did that, and I said, okay, let's stop investing in the stock market, and then so that we can focus on paying off our debts. and then we can continue. But at that point that I made that decision, yes, we stopped taking money from our checking account to put in the investment. But because we took $100 allowances out of our checking account every month for us to buy certain things that we don't have to check with the other person to do it, because at that time I draft a budget that we follow closely so that we can keep our expenses low and pay extra to our debts. I allocate $100 for everybody's personal care, like undergarments, I don't know, you see what I'm talking about, like just for our personal things that I don't have to track on our spending. So we have groceries and all the bills, but $100 for us to buy things for ourselves every month. So that $100 we started to send it to our chart swap account, either our Roth or our brokerage account. We'll just put it there. So some month you may not do anything, some month you will do something, and we are doing a little by little. And then we start looking for stocks, because we didn't, I started it, but and then he just joined it, so it was just together. We look for stocks, and because we have about $100 available to trade with or to invest with, we look for penny stocks that we can buy a lot of shares of using that $100. And then when we have profit, we'll sell it. Sometimes I'll hold on to mine longer, and some of them will bankrupt on me, but my husband will sell it. So it was more like a short-term investment, because we could easily sell it within a year. So back then we are not really swing trading, and we didn't start with 1,000 either. We just started with $100 here, $100 there, and that's how we started it. We were investing, we were short-term investing as well. But then a little by little, those profit from those investments allow the account to grow. At this point, in that Roth IRA, I believe I have about, I would say about 3,000 there or so, or maybe $1,000, I'm not sure, in that brokerage account. In that Roth IRA and in the brokerage account, I have something there as well, maybe 500 or more. I bought Johnson & Johnson, I don't even know what year, and HP, and they are still there, profitable in that account. I must have bought them when they were low at some point some years ago, but they are there. So, and that's pretty much how we did it. And the strategy we use is we find those stocks, we look for them, filter using a screener to find stocks that are low, close to their 52 weeks low. We will find them, we will compare their low and their high, their 52 weeks low amount and their 52 weeks high amount, to see how high they can get within a year. So when we see like the 52 weeks high is close to double the 52 weeks low, those are the stocks that we select from that list. And then we will invest in some of them, because we have about $100 or so available. Then we'll just pick one and we'll buy a large share of it and just leave it there. Months later, when it's close to 52 weeks high or reach it and start going down, we'll sell it and lock in that profit. So at some point, we aim for double the price we pay for it. And then at some point, my husband will just say, you know what, and when we start putting more in it and investing, trading or investing more than $100, he will set a fixed amount for profit. When the stock reach there, he will just sell it for him. So he'll place an order to sell it and have a time frame there for it. So, and if he reach that amount within that time frame, he will sell it for him. So, but again, we started small, and over time the account grow, and we are able to trade or invest, buy stocks with more than $100 per trade. And we are paying more our debts until we pay them off, and then we start putting more toward our account, and we were putting it toward the brokerage account, because at that point, by the time we were done paying off debts in 2019 or so, we have a brokerage account as well, but we didn't do much there. I decided that we are going to just found the brokerage account so that we can create a stream of income instead of investing in the Roth IRA. And the reason why I told you to start doing it in the Roth IRA while you are using a small capital, so that you can repeat the process multiple times. In your Roth IRA, the profit is tax free, and you won't have to report it on your 1040 individual income tax return. If you are doing it in your brokerage account, those multiple trades that you did during the year, you'll have to report them on your tax return, and it is a tedious work. If you are paying somebody to file your tax for you, they will charge you quite a bit for it. Therefore, unless you are charging your own, you are filing your own return, which can take a lot of your time to do. When you are trading, is better you do that in your Roth IRA. And as you are putting more and more in the account, you can switch to your brokerage account to put more there and start trading there. So, but that is just a personal preference. So when we were trading more in the past, I told my husband to do that in his Roth IRA, so that I don't have to spend time reporting those on our transactions on our 1040. And we did it in our Roth IRA. I purchased stocks in my brokerage account as well. That's what I'm telling you. HP and Johnson & Johnson, I still have two of those stocks there in my brokerage account. And all I will report from that account is the dividend I earn from them, because I'm not trading there. Dividend earned from dividend income in the brokerage account will be those interest and dividend income that you are going to report on your 1040. So for long-term investment, we will do that in our brokerage account, but for short-term investment or trading, we'll do that in our Roth IRA. But that's how we did it. But now we are doing more of our swing trading in a brokerage account. So in 2023, we invested in dividend income, and I was thinking about creating income from dividend that will be high enough to equal our living expenses. But at the end of 2023, my husband said, instead of holding on to those dividend income, because income from dividend, you'll have to have a lot in the account for that income to grow, because it's a small percentage, 3% in average. So my husband said it's better we continue the strategy we're using before, 52 weeks low, 52 weeks high trading strategy. And I said, well, I think people that trade for a living, they are more active than that. I will try to learn how people trade for a living to see if I can find a strategy that will work for us. And that's how I got into swing trading. And I will say 52 weeks low, 52 weeks high trading strategy that we use could be close to position trading. So when I got into swing trading in 2024, I decided to swing trade. And that's what we did. And we did it in the brokerage account. And the reason why I decided to invest in dividend income or swing trading in the brokerage account is because I'm trying to create a stream of income that will equal over time how much we are making from work, but at some point equal our living expenses and then surpass our paycheck as well, but have a stream of income available, and therefore it will have to be in a brokerage account, not in a Roth IRA, because the Roth IRA you cannot take money out of it unless you are touching just your capital. Otherwise, you have to wait a certain age before you can touch it. There is a limitation, a regulation, or a requirement to it. And then you take something out of there, even that's your capital, you have to file a form with your 1040 to track those. So I just prefer to do it in a brokerage account where we have access to our money even if that means we pay tax on it. So in your brokerage account, you pay tax on your profits. When you sell stocks, you pay tax on the profits. And I prefer that so that we have access to our money, and that is the personal choice. But yeah, we started small. I will tell you $1,000 minimum account, but frankly, you can start with 100, you can start with 300. And the reason why I say 300 is because my children have brokerage account, and the same way my husband and I, we were investing and trading over the years, we did that with them as well, and the account grew to 3,000, around 3,000 each, between what we put in it for them. And when I sell those stocks, I'll buy them stocks at 52 weeks low. When it reach 52 weeks high, even if it took some years, when it's close to 52 weeks high of that year, I will sell it, lock in that profit again, and find something to buy for them. So just passively doing that for them, the account grew as well. And last year, I want them to invest in dividend stock to introduce them to stock trading and investing. Most of their $3,000 was invested in dividend stock. So in 2024, when I start swing trading, I try to teach them that as well. By that point, they have about $1,000 cash available in their account. And I told them to allocate about $300 per trade. And when they reach $5 profit, to sell it and repeat it again. And that is based on that experience that I'm saying that $1,000 minimum account is recommended, and $300 per trade, and $5 minimum profit. And they did that in 2024, beside their school work. And for the first 6 months, they make about $300 profits or so. So just and when their stocks, dividend stocks, have about $5 profit, they will sell it as well and lock that profit in so that they can have more cash available to trade with. And over time, I think they sell most of their dividend stocks to free another $1,000 from that as well. So that is how a small account, they are doing it. $3,000 account value with $1,000 cash. Out of that $1,000 cash available, they try to find stocks they can buy within $300. So that means the stock unit price should not be more than $300, and if it's less than $200, can allow you to buy 2 shares, because when you buy more share, your profits increase faster than 1 share. If 1 share the profit is $5, you bought 2 shares of it, that's $10 profit. So yeah, you just have to think about all of those things. Start small, and that $1,000 minimum account, it is to just swing trade using your own money, now using margin from the brokerage firm, and now swing trading short or selling short. Just buy stocks and sell it when it's profitable. That type of swing trading using your own money, now borrowing from the brokerage firm, you can start it with a small dollar amount, and that's what we are doing. Our account is 6-figure account, around $200,000 account. Is qualified for 50% margin, and the margin is about 12%. I don't know, that's 12% a year, 12% per trade. I don't know. I just know that at some point there's those messages that will show up when I start swing trading, until I notice that, oh, it's margin that they are trying to let us know that we are qualifying for. But we do not use margin. I didn't even try to look into it to see what that is about. I try to search where the information is, and I know that it has about 11.99% fee rate in a rate or something like that, but I just don't know if it's per trade, if it's per year, what that is, I have no idea. Or maybe the amount that you borrow from them. But anyway, if you are just using your own money, because you can swing trade with your own money, if you are just swing trading with your own money, you are not borrowing from the brokerage firm, you are not selling shorts, you are not doing those things. You just buy it when it's low, you sell it when it's high, and lock in that profit. You can start very small, and from there, when you master that strategy, you can try to expand your knowledge to other ways of trading stocks, investing in stocks, to see which one align with your risk tolerance, your personality, that you can learn more, and then veer toward those routes, so that you can expand your knowledge in it, have multiple ways of investing in the stock market and trading stocks, so that you can diversify. Even within trading stocks, you can diversify your process there and increase your profit as well. Thank you. If you are working, I will suggest you create investment account, brokerage account, Roth IRA, so that you can start investing in the stock market. Do not spend all your paycheck and live from month to month, from paycheck to paycheck. And putting money in the bank account, a saving account, the interest is very low. Like, it's less than 1% a year. It's very low. And you can even have cash in your brokerage firm. A lot of time, the cash in the brokerage firm is insured by the government up to a certain amount, because those brokerage firms that has bank attached to them as well. TransSwap has a bank version of it, and I think the cash in your checking account there, open a checking account with them, open a saving account with them. The return, the interest is higher than the regular bank, the local bank. And then the money is insured as well there, the cash. But now your stock, now the money you invest in the stock market, like you bought stock with. So just know that trading, investing is risky. Your money is not insured. Therefore, don't look for get rich quick anything. Start small, use caution, and understand what you are doing, and broaden your knowledge from there. Thank you. And again, if it's easy to say not to live from paycheck to paycheck, but if your income is not high enough to cover your need, it's harder to invest. So make sure you actually know what your needs are compared to your income, to see, yes, if your paycheck cover at least your needs, it is your wants that is making your living expenses increase, and see how you can practice frugality to lower a little bit of your wants, so that you can free some resources to invest and start doing that on the side. Because again, your job, your business where you are working is not your business. Therefore, it's good you have a stream of income outside of your job, so that in case of a temporary loss of job, you do not worry about feeding your family, putting food on your table, because you have a stream of income you can tap into. And that is one reason why I prefer to trade in a brokerage account, so that we have another stream of income outside of our job. I like my job, but this year, 2024, I struggled a little bit. I was overwhelmed with the work, not so much because of the work, but more so about my supervisor, and we have different personality, and I don't like to be macro-managed, so it puts quite a bit of pressure on me. And when you are stressed over your job, sometimes it's not the load of the work, sometimes it could just be people you are working with, or people that are managing you with, that are making causing the issue. So, and those things, the way I view it, or the way I try to get out of that state of mind of anxiety, is to think about focusing more on our business, focusing more on our swing trading, so that I can create streams of income outside of our work. Because when you know that your job is now where all your money that is providing for your need is coming from, you might view your job differently. You might like it better. You might, you might set maybe a lower expectation for it. I think it takes a little bit of the pressure off you. So if you can try to pay down your debts so that you can free more resources to invest, to have a side business, just view your job that is founding those source of income for you, so that those source of income over time, profit from them can provide for your need, can fund your lifestyle. Thank you. We thank you very much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for all your comments, and we thank you very much you all that subscribe to our channel. I'm Afia the Liberman, Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and in asoap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways you can save money and different ways you can make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Some years ago, I think it was around 2019 or 2018, my husband just one evening told me that he's thinking about quitting his job. And I told him that is okay. And I gave him some other options for job-wise that he can go for. He didn't like any of those. I told him he wants to quit his job, he can quit it and start looking for another one. But that just reinforced my thinking about having streams of income outside of our job. Because when you are stressed over your job, you don't feel trapped there because you have family to feed, family to provide for, and get stuck there. But having options maybe might lighten the pressure a little bit. And I just know from that moment that, well, I have to work harder to, to create those streams of income outside of our job, so that if one of us, is just too dissatisfied with their job and they wanted to step away from that job, we have other streams of income. And being frugal so that our expenses can fit within one income allow us to know that we have a backup plan as well. And multiple times I have felt like that, like I'm done with my job, I just don't quit, I just talk, but it just gave me more boost to know that I need to work harder on our businesses and on our investments, so that we have options. And yeah, so my husband is more of an employee type person. He likes to just go to work, work with it, come home, be done with it, and play on his phone. I'm more of having other streams of income outside of my job type person. So if you are married or you are in a relationship, work with your partner on that. At least both of us, we are frugal, and but side hustle is more my things, not his. And so I'm not somebody that is like stay-home mom type person. I'm more of a career type person, and I like to be financially independent. It has been something in me growing up. So when I see my parents argue over money, both work outside of the house full time, and my mom will complain about money because spend hers on different things, but not necessarily bad things, because she will buy land for investment purposes alone, and then she'll pay. So most of her income will go toward that, and very quickly she'll want money for things, and then she'll ask my dad, and my dad will say no, and they will argue over money and things like that. And when I see that, I will say to myself, when I grow up, I will study hard. I will say to myself that I will study hard and have my degrees. When I grow up, when I get out, I'm done with education, I will find a good job, I'll have my own income, I'll have my own house, my own car, and I'm not going to argue with my husband over money. When we disagree on something, I'll just pick up my keys and go to my house, stay there until I cool off, and then I'll come back home. So as a kid, there is a way kids tend to view things, but as an adult, I know that it may not be really the right things to do. So having my own house, having my own car, and those are not, as an adult, those are not things that I plan to do. But still, being financially independent is a must for me. So even though I'm married, I'm now waiting for my husband to provide for me. If he can, that's great. But we have children. I feel as much as him responsible to be able to provide for my children. So I just don't want him to be the breadwinner. I want to be able to help him provide for our family. And if he needs to step away from his job temporarily, I know that my income can provide. Or if I'm the one that lost my job temporarily, I know that his income can provide. So we tend to live frugally so that we stay out of debt, and our income, all our expenses can fit within the lowest of our income, and we can use the other income to invest. And that is the goal, and that's what we are striving for, and that's what I'm sharing with you as well. That if you are two income earners, try to keep all your expenses within one income, preferably within the lowest of the two, so that the other income you can use it to invest. And if you have debt to pay, you can do the same thing. That's what we did. All our expenses fit within one income, and the other income we use it to pay all the debts, pay the minimum on them, and pay and put the remaining of that income toward the debt that we want to pay off first, to pay the excess of it until that debt is done, and then what we are paying for that debt goes to the next debt that we want to pay off. That's how we did it until we pay everything off, from credit card, tuition loan for my husband, and car loan, and house as well. So it is doable. It just try not to impress people around you, and just focusing on keeping your expenses low so that you have options. Thank you.